Hey guys, welcome back. I'm your host, Master Phoenix. Here as always, bringing you guys some more Magic the Gathering online content. And today I'm going to be playing another EDH game with my upgraded, newly edited and revised last roll Blade of the Elves deck. And yeah, just spent a bit more money, uh, upgrading it, taking parts out and exchanging them, stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, we are gonna lose the die roll, which sucks, but that's fine. We're gonna open a forest and a swamp, so both our colors: Basalt Monolith, Ambition's Cost, Excellent Ancient, Elvish Promenade, and one of the new cards that we added, Heroic Intervention. Just a great staple in green. We're up against Orvar, the All Form, Chainer, Dimension Master, and Arumi of the Dead Tide. Out of these three, I think that we should watch out for Orvar the most, just because that can be kind of, that can be kind of tricky when you get like 5 Soul Rings. It's going to be our turn. We're going to draw into a Thespian stage. Let's go ahead and play a forest as our land for turn, and then we will pass the turn. We're going to see R10, play an island and tap it for an Arcbound Worker, which has modular 1, meaning it enters the +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, you can put a +1/+1 counter on target artifact, put its +1/+1 counter on another target artifact creature. Moving over to Suppressing's turn, he's just going to play a very pretty swamp. Both of the swamps are really nice. And then we're going to see what is that, Jahal? I believe that's how his name's pronounced. Play an Underground Sea and pass. Complements his Polluted Delta, though it makes it a bit harder to find something worth fetching. Gonna draw into Binding of the Old Gods when it comes back to my turn. I'm just gonna go ahead and play Swamp as my land for turn and pass. Gonna see another snow-covered island from R10 there. Probably using the extra planar lens. Little doohickey there. Then we're gonna see R10 crack in for 1 against me with the Arcbound Worker. And obviously I have no blockers, so I have to take it, so I'll go from 40 to 39. Coming back over to Suppressing now, we're going to see Poke. We're going to see Suppressing tap out for Underworld Dreams, which is a nice enchantment that I probably should maybe add here? Not sure. Phyrexian Arena would be a good one. And then Garl is gonna fetch a Water Grave in response to it. Obviously having it enter untap, having it enter tapped, I should say rather. and then it'll come back to his turn. His lands are on tap. Underworld Dreams will trigger. Well, first, Joel is going to cast Careful Study. First, he's going to take up damage off of the draw for turn. He's going to cast Careful Study, draw 2 more cards, then discard 2 cards, getting rid of Noxious Gearhulk and Underground River. And then he's going to take 2 more damage off of the cards he drew at Careful Study, play an island as his land for turn and pass. Coming back to me now, I'm going to draw into Fauna Shaman, which is really nice. I'm going to take a point of damage from Underworld Dreams, going from 39 down to 38. I'll play a Thespian's Stage as my land for turn, which isn't fantastic, but I'm glad we at least have it out of the way so that once we get stuff moving, we can go about that later on. I think I'll just go ahead and pay. Actually, you know what? Just in case someone somehow casts a ramp-ish effect, I'm going to no, actually, I'll go ahead and tap my Forest and my Swamp, Floating Golgari to cast Fauna Shaman from my hand, which is a 2/2 Elf Shaman for 1 and a green. That allows me to pay a green and tap it, in addition to discarding a creature card, to search my library for any creature card, reveal it, put it in my hand, and then shuffle my library. And then I'll pass the turn. It's your story, by the way. Anyway, let's see R10 play a land for turn and have Arcbound represent. Yeah, it's only an opponent. So Arcbound Worker is going to go ping suppressing for 1, and we're going to see. And anyway, suppressing is going to play a land for turn, tap 3 of his swamps for Arterial Flow, which is a sorcery for 1 and double black. Each opponent discards 2 cards, but if he controls a vampire, each opponent also loses 2 life and he gains 2 life. As for the discard targets, let's pitch. Actually, I think we might get rid of Nyx Bloom Ancient because we can always get it back later. And what else do we want to get rid of? The only thing with Elvish Promenade is it's kind of slow, since it's going to take us a few turns just to get our engine going, so I think we'll go ahead and get rid of that as well. Yeah, let's do that. And then, let me see. R10 is going to get rid of Wings of Phyllis Vale and Ghost Form. Whereas Garl is going to get rid of Swamp and Urborg. What's this do? Oh, interesting. Tribal instant. Okay. Anyway, it's going to be Jalal's turn. He's going to draw into a ping from Underworld Dreams. Oh, and R10 will get pinged by Underworld Dreams as well. Forgot to commentate that, but anyway. Jalal is going to reanimate my Nyxbloom Ancient. Which will triple his mana. Thankfully, it won't mean the end of the world with only 3 cards in hand, but still. Oh. Okay, so he's going to cast Army of the Dead Tide and Merciless Executioner. Merciless Executioner will enter the battlefield successfully and trigger, meaning each player is going to have to sacrifice a creature, except for suppressing, doesn't have any. So, goodbye, Fauna Shaman. It was fun while it lasted, but you weren't long for this earth. Coming back to, he's going to just go ahead and pass turn after that. So, anyway, R10 is going to sack the Arcbound Worker, and Arcbound Worker, and Joel is going to sacrifice his Merciless Executioner. I'm going to draw into Cabal Coffers and get pinged by Underworld Dreams, taking me down from 38 to 37. I'll play the Cabal Coffers at Drio's my land for turn. Then I will go ahead and tap my Thespian Stage, my Forest, and my Swamp, put in a colorless and Golgari to cast Basalt Monolith from my hand, which is an artifact for 3 generic mana that doesn't untap during my untap step. I can tap it to add 3 colorless mana, and I can pay 3 generic mana to untap it. Then I'll pass the turn. Coming back over to R10, he is going to get pinged during his draw step for Underworld Dreams. Play a 4th snow-covered island, and potentially just tap out first commander. Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do. Passes me over to suppressing now. Gonna play another pretty swamp. Tap all 5 for a Gilded Lotus, which is an artifact for 5 generic mana that can tap at 3 mana of any one color. Gonna tap it to cast Bontu's Last Reckoning, which is a very powerful sorcery for 1 and double black that destroys all creatures and lands he controls doesn't untap during his next untap step. So that will get rid of 2 commanders, R10's Orvar and Jalal's Rumi, alongside my next Ancient. Like that other guy, yeah. So yeah, both commanders will get destroyed, and R10 and Jalal will put them back in their command zone. Next Ancient will go back in my yard where it belongs. Passing over to Jalal. He's going to take 1 after his draw step from Underworld Dream, play an island as his land for turn, and recast Arumi of the Dead Tide for 5. He'll go ahead and pass after that, so it'll come back to my turn, and I'll draw it into Lightning Greaves, taking 1 off of Underworld Dreams, taking me from 37 down to 36. I will then go ahead and tap my Basalt Monolith for a triple colorless, my Forest for a green, my Swamp for a black. I'll spend all of it except for a single colorless to cast Binding the Old Gods. From my hand, which is an Enchantment Saga for 2 Golgari. And it will start off allowing me to destroy any target online opponent and opponent controls. For its first chapter. The second chapter will search our library for a forest card, any forest card, not just basic. Put it onto the battlefield, tap, and shuffle my library. And then the third chapter will give creatures I control death touch until end of turn. Furthermore, I'm going to then tap my Thespian Stage for a second colorless, which I'll spend both of, emptying out my mana pool to cast Lightning Greaves from my hand, which is an artifact equipment for 2 generic mana that equips for free and gives the equipped creature Haste and Shroud, which is a strictly worse hexproof. Fun fact, Shroud is now retired as a keyword, because obviously hexproof exists and it's better. We are then going to see R10 take 1 off of Underworld Dreams when he draws for turn, and he will cast, where did it go? His Clock Spinning, oh yeah, buyback. Clock Spinning with buyback, which will turn my Binding the Old Gods forward a chapter, which means I will then search my library for a forest card, which is going to get a basic one since that's all I have. Put it onto the battlefield, tap, and shuffle my library. We're going to see Suppressing, tap a bunch, actually tap his Gilded Lotus for triple black and spend 2 of it to cast Demonic Tutor, which he tutors for a Cabal Coffers, obviously. And then he will pass the turn over to Joel, who will take one after drawing because of Underworld Dreams. Do note that suppressing was lands didn't untap due to the Bonds' Last Reckoning. We're going to see Joel go ahead and play Bajuka Bog as his land for turn, which will enter the battlefield tapped and exile all cards from target player's graveyard. He's going to target me, which is obviously the best target because I had Final Shaman and Nixman Ancient, as well as ways in here to reanimate them / get them back. I'm going to draw into Terastodon and take one off of Underworld Dreams, going from 36 down to 35. The third and final chapter of Binding the Old Gods will take effect, giving my non-existent creatures Death Touch until end of turn, and it will sacrifice itself. I will then tap all of my lands except for the Cabal Coffers for obvious reasons, floating a colorless, double green, and a black to cast Ambition's Cost from my hand, which is a sorcery for 3 and a black that lets me draw 3 cards and lose 3 life. And I will, of course, lose 3 life, going from 35 down to 32. Then I will lose 3 more life since I drew 3 cards from Underworld Dreams, going from 32 down to 29. Then I will play, I'm going to draw into a Critterhoof Behemoth, an Abomination of Llanowar, and a Forest. I'll go ahead and play the Forest as my land for turn, and I'll pass the turn. Oh, it's not even creatures, it's permanents. Wow, that's way better than I thought it was. And then we'll pass the turn. Our 10 will draw and take one off his draw step from Underworld Dreams. Simply opting to go ahead and pass turn over to suppressing here, who finally has access to his lands again. As well as a bunch of mana. That is what? It's like 11? Yeah, exactly 11. Casting Mind Twist for 4, which is a sorcery for 1 black and X, which makes target player discard X cards at random. He's going to target me, and I'm going to discard 4 cards at random, meaning my entire hand. So I will say goodbye to Critterhoof Behemoth, Terastodon, Heroic Intervention, and Abomination of Llanowar. And then he is going to follow that up with Phyrexian Obliterator, which is a 5/5 trampling horror for quad black. And whenever a source deals damage to Phyrexian Obliterator, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. From back to Joel, he is going to untap and take one off of the Underworld Dreams and pass the turn. I'm going to draw in the new Madrawa Chieftain, take one off of Underworld Dreams, going from 29 down to 28. And then I'm going to cast New Madrawa Chieftain. With my Thespian Stage and 2 of my forests. Then I'll equip it with my lightning greaves. Proceed to combat and pay 2, a forest and a swamp. Going Golgari, X will equal 1. That will trigger new Majora Chieftain, allowing me to place 1/1/1 counter on her. Oh, that's right, I can't. Oh well. Hunt, I'm bad. Anyway, new Majora Chieftain is a 2/2 legendary elf warrior for 2 and a green. It has partner, and at the beginning of combat on my turn, I can pay XX, and when I do, I distribute +1 X +1/+1 counters among any number of target elves. And then I will pass, I guess. We're going to come back to R10, who will lose 1 off of Underworld Dreams as he draws into his card for turn, plays his island as his land for turn, and taps out to recast Orval with commander tax. Thank you. Suppressing is going to play an Urborg, which helps me, I imagine, more than it helps him, since he knows I can get access to 2. He's going to cast Erebos, God of Dead, which is a legendary enchantment creature god for 3 and a black. It's a 5/7 legendary enchantment creature god for 3 and a black with indestructible. And as long as your devotion to black is less than 5, Erebos isn't a creature. It has the static ability that opponents can't gain life, and you can pay 1 a black and pay 2 life to draw a card, which is repeatable. Furthermore, he will cast Mind Slicer, which is a 4/3 horror for 2 double black, and when it dies, each player discards their hand. He will then, I assume, just activate Erebos twice more. Nope, he'll activate him once more, and spend the remaining 2 for Black Lance Paragon, which is a 3/1 human knight with flash for the 1 and a black. When it enters the battlefield, target knight gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. He's going to go ahead and target Orvar. What a nice guy. So Jalal is going to then tap out to Overrift. Of course, that is my way of saying Cyclonic Rift, casting Cyclonic Rift for its overload cost, which is an instant for 1 in a blue, but has an overload cost for 6 in a blue, which returns each non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. It'll come back to Jalal's turn, and he will lose life off of... Oh wait, no he won't, never mind. He will cast Remove the Dead Tide for her regular cost. Right? No, he did cast it for 7. He will hard cast his commander for 7 and pass the turn to me. I will tap 2 forests to use the activated ability of Thespian Stage. copying Cabal Coffers. Then I will tap both my remaining lands to pay for the 2 generic mana cost of Cabal Coffers, tapping it to add a black for each swamp I control, which means I'm floating 6 black. I will cast Lightning Greaves, Basalt Monolith, and Basalt Monolith. I will tap the Basalt Monolith to add triple colorless, and use 2 of that triple colorless to cast Swiftfoot Boots. Pass the turn as my mana pool empties out, and then I will pass the turn. So yeah, all in all, I'd say that was a pretty successful turn. You're going to see R10 recast Orvar for just a standard 4 mana. I just called this card. Going to then tap 1 land to cast Energy Tap, which is a sorcery for 1 blue that taps target untapped creature he controls, and if he does, he adds an amount of colorless mana equal to that creature's converted mana cost. He is going to then tap his other land, cast Clock Spinning with Buyback for 3 generic mana to choose a counter on target permanent or suspended card and remove that counter from that permanent card or card and put another one of those counters on it. It will go back to. I love the artwork on that, by the way. Really great. And then pass turn to Suppressing, who will use all that mana to cast his entire hand, I'd imagine. He's going to cast a Fancy Damnation for 2, which is a sorcery for 2 double black that destroys all creatures and they can't be regenerated. Ruh-roh, not like this. He's then going to play Castle Twain as his land for turn, which is a land that enters tapped unless he controls a swamp. You tap it to add a black, and he can pay 1 and double black and tap it to draw a card, then lose life equal to the number of cards in his hand. He will cast Gilded Lotus. He will cast Phyrexian Obliterator. And he'll pass over to Garl, who we may actually see tap out again for his commander. He's going to play Tainted Isle as his land for turn, which is a non-basic land, which can tap for a colorless, or can tap for a blue and black, but can only activate the ability if he controls a swamp. Oh! He will then pay 1 and a blue to cast Gilded Drake, which is a very great creature, 3/3 Drake creature for 1 and a blue with flying. And when it enters the battlefield, he exchanges control of it and up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. If he doesn't or can't make an exchange, it gets sacrificed, and it still resolves if the target becomes illegal. He's going to give Suppressing the Gilded Drake in exchange for suppressing Phyrexian Obliterator and pass the turn back to me. I'm going to, he's going to cast Oath of Boots and equip it onto the Phyrexian Obliterator. Swing in for 5. I'm going to tap down my lands. Untap Basalt Monolith. Float 10 black. Cast Numa Draga Chieftain. Cast Lathril Blade of the Elves. Equip Lightning Greaves to Numa. Pay 1 to equip Swiftfoot Boots to Lathril. Lathril, of course, being a 2/3 legendary with level 2 and guard with Menace, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, I can create that many 1/1 green or 4 creature tokens, and then I can tap her alongside 10 untapped outside controller, drain each opponent for 10 life, and I gain 10 life. That will unfortunately be all the mana I have to sink into casting all my spells this turn, but that's more than good enough for me for now. I will then have Lathril, Blade of the Elves, attack R10 for 2 points, of both regular and commander damage. Of course, the black that I was going to use, any combination of my 3 Basalt Monolith colorless mana, emptied out. So that sucks, but anyway, it's fine. I'm going to generate 2 1/1 green 04 creature tokens thanks to Lathril's triggered ability. We're going to see R10 pay 8 for Urvar. After playing his land for turn. Really dedicated to his craft. Gotta admit, I really admire that. Passing turn over to Suppressing. Come on. 8. Okay. Gonna cast Erebos. Going to use Erebos a few times. Cast a Soaring. Sure. Draw some more cards. And again. Basically just hoping he doesn't drown the Toxic Deluge here. He's going to get Exquisite Blood. Uh-oh. Well, at least we're safe for now. Passing the turn. Exquisite Blood, of course, being an enchantment for 4 and a black. That simply reach whenever an opponent loses life, he gains that much life. And it infinite combos with Sanguine Bond. And of course, Soaring is a artifact, 1 generic mana. I can tap to add double colorless to your mana pool. We're going to Siege the Wall. Play Castle Lock Between. Lock Between is his land for turn. Use its activated ability. Yada yada yada. He's gonna lose some life. He's gonna draw a card, lose some life. Suppressing is gonna gain some life off of Exquisite Blood. Sorry. Oh, Mesmeric Orb. That's no fun. Mesmeric Orb being an artifact for 2 generic mana that simply reads whenever a permanent becomes untapped, that permanent's controller mills a card. And then we're going to untap and mill 7. Milling. He is going to pass turn with that. Golgari Signet, don't care about that. Nope. Doubling Season, kind of care about that. Vorinclex Monstrous Raider, kind of care about that. Elvish Mystic, don't care about that. Soaring, don't really care about that at this point. Poison the Cup, don't. I lied, I do care about. Oh, never mind, it's got Hexproof. Don't really care about that. And a Swamp, don't care about that. Elvish Champion's basically worthless for me here, but sure. Actually, hang on. Let me go straight to combat. Okay. So we will use, well, we will sink 14 mana into Numa, draw a chieftain, making X 7. Hang on, how do I? It's not showing me the thing to say done. Oh! Well, that's only slightly annoying. Oh, okay. Fix it. We'll put 7 +1/+1 counters on Lateral Blade of the Elves. And then we will have Lateral Blade of the Elves attack Jalal for 9 points of both regular and commander damage. With only one creature, he is unable to block. I will generate 9/1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens and pass the turn. What are you even targeting with that? Oh, can you actually do that? Okay. Sure. Okay. Sorry, I know my commentaries started to take a hit. It's like literally 6 in the morning. What in the hell are all these damn nails doing here? Chainer's Edict. Ooh, yikes. Gonna make him sacrifice the Phyrexian Obliterator. Yikes. That sucks, dude. Well, you can go ahead and get your Phyrexian Obliterator back. Just no. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Uh-oh. Hang on. Okay. Hmm. What do I do here? What? Terrestrial? Oh, no, don't do it! Oh. I think he's gonna do it. Wait, for real? Okay, cool. Yeah, you can destroy my stuff. My shoes. Sure. Oh, smart. Smart little cookie. I mean, but now, dude, this point in the game, I don't really see it. If I could happen upon a way to perhaps rid myself of the table, such as Return Upon the Tide. That would be fantastic. Return Upon the Tide, Find Broker. Well, Find Broker won't work. Really, just Return Upon the Tide. What'd you get rid of? Oh, bro, that's rough. But they get exiled? No! Electrostodon! It's alright. Poof's better. I am gonna miss him though. Jesus, dude. Or Voice of Nightmare. Technically, yeah. Technically, he is. This is true. Okay, please. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Ah, damn it. Gata, no. Maybe I'll get milled right down the gas. No, you're sure that wasn't really helpful with. My Vesuva, no! Damn it! I wanted my Vesuva! No! My third coffers! My third coffers. Um. Sure, I'll get another 7/7. And then, Rawr. 9 to the face. Oh, Erebus is just barely a creature. Just barely. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Well, I hope Return Upon the Tide isn't in my top 20. What's this? What's this? Oh, that's already in there, I think. Yeah, you don't need any of that. You don't need any of that. No, it's fucking 3 lands. I'm pissed. That's it, you would. Oh, yeah! That's another one. Oh, it's fucking 3 layers. I'm pissed. Fucking 3 layers. Jesus, dude. All I could have wanted is Toxin. That's why I just draw cards. I could have wanted Toxin. I just wanted to draw cards. Picks up the little fucking library. It's stupid. He picks it up. The bastard. Sorry, just picks up his library. It's like looking at it. Because that's basically his hand now. Oh. I don't want to talk. Who's the game? So, come on, there's no way you didn't have game. Oh no, I could have won some stocks. I just wanted to draw cards. I just wanted to draw cards. I stacked his deck when he DC'd. Bro, he is so pissed. I stacked his deck when he stacked his deck. Use your proof on this card. No, bro, I believe you. Don't do it. If he actually bends 7 lands, I'm gonna cry. One, two, three, four. Ouch, bro. If he actually bends 7 swamps, I'm gonna cry. 7 swamps. They're not even non-basic. They're just basic swamps. They're just basic swamps. Why are you running that fucking many? What in the hell? Oh, I love the flavor text on that guy. Garl, just the slurry dispensers. Garl, fetch more corpses. Garl, you're crying. You give me your brain tissue. If he doesn't stop being so rude, I'm quitting. Everything gets the one thing. He's throwing a word out of his mouth. Garl. I signed up. I signed up to be his lab partner because I thought we'd be equals. I thought we'd be equals. Like, bounce ideas off each other and shit. Now just fucking fucking guinea pig. works 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 like a slave. It's not funny. It is. I lied. That's corpse. That's hilarious. I don't know why. It's just hilarious. Like, Garl, that's her. She's just ready to fucking Jerry. Money corpses. Money corpses back in some secret lab off in Timbuktu. Fish corpses. Give me some of your brain matter. Give me some of your brain tissue. Give me your left toenail. Hey. Hello? I'm not even gonna ask. Hello? Oops. Jesus, loud. Hello? 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 Oh, hello? You speaking? I think you're muted. I can't hear you. Alright, GG.